I used to tell myself I was building a business for the long term, building it for the future, and I'd built myself a trap. I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'd still be sending out quotations at midnight, and all throughout the day I was picking up materials for all the guys, dropping them off. Constant demands. When you think that you got in front, then you get the next phone call and it's just chaos. You couldn't do it. I was doing accounting, I was doing bookkeeping, paying suppliers. I was paying the guys first and without even paying myself. Sometimes I didn't pay myself for weeks. I was on the phone pretty much constantly. I could get up to 100, 150 calls a day. My little boy hated the phone. My family even hated the business. But even today, my boy's 15 and he still hates it if I pick up the phone, that it created that much of an impression on him. And it was just madness. But I used to tell myself that this is how it's got to be. You know, you've got to go through the pain and it's going to change, it's going to come good. But I didn't have a plan. My first business that I started with a construction, I went in with a friend of mine. He was an investor, a good friend of mine. He had no background in the construction industry at all. And my plan was to coach him and teach him from the ground up, all the fundamentals, get a little bit of respect from the guys, and then start sort of implementing all the structures and procedures. But, you know, he was a leader for sure, but he just wanted straight from the off, lay the law down. In his words, he wanted to build a well-oiled machine. Now, in hindsight, that is what you need to do with business. I do think you need to get the respect first, but regards a well-oiled machine, I didn't have any systems in place at all. I didn't even know how to cost a project. I didn't know what my overheads were. I didn't know what my profits margins were. I didn't know what markup and margin. I had no idea how to price jobs. So, you know, within a short time, I was losing money. I was very good at picking up new work and getting new orders, making sales. So the turnover kind of masked the issue that I had, and wasn't long. Saying that, I think I kept it rolling for 2 or 3 years, but ultimately I owed suppliers 25 grand. I had an overdraft, which was in my business partner's name, 25k, and I owed the same to HMRC, Inland Revenue. So ultimately, I had no choice but to wrap it up. Still positive and optimistic that I could do it. I was excited to start the business again, but without a business partner this time, I get to make all the decisions. So off I went, and get my head down and sell in, but I hadn't changed anything. I'd made no changes at all. So the pattern was repeating. I was learning a little bit. I did understand the costs a little bit more, just the day-to-day. I was getting better. There was a few systems I put in place, but the writing was on the wall. And I managed to continue that again for another 2-3 years. My mindset with regards costing jobs and putting prices up, deep down I knew I needed to put the price up, but didn't have the mindset to do that. You've got the fear that customers are not going to place any orders anymore. And pretty much it was done. So I thought the construction game was coming to the end. I built a really good brand online, so for other people looking in, that I was doing really, really well. I did have something that was good on one side, but we're just losing money every time. And no disrespect to any of the guys that work with me, but I couldn't turn to anyone. I couldn't speak to the plasterer about business, or my electrician, or my plumber. My family, I couldn't speak to my family about business. Nobody knew business. I had nobody to turn to get the advice and the support that I need. I was running a real beast of a business, but with no business skills. Nobody taught me how to do it. And pretty much Christmas, it was coming up to Christmas, and I was ready to throw in the towel once and for all, go and work for somebody else. And that was my career in construction over. But then I spotted an advert on social media with a mentor offering how to scale, grow and make a profitable business. I responded to the ad, got a call from the team and they invited me down for a day where it was promised to be packed full of value, and no matter what I did, what I decided to do, I could walk away with some new insights that could help me take my business to the next level, or at least help. But I was worried, I didn't want to commit to any more money. I knew whatever was happening, it was going to cost me. I didn't want to get into any more debt, didn't want to have to explain to the wife that I've bought another program, I've done something else. So I cancelled and I didn't turn up. But these guys were pretty persistent, and in the end they managed to convince me to go down and spend the day, and it was over Christmas. So the business had closed down, all the guys were off, and it was just me in my own quiet time leading up to the break, and I went and spent the day. And to be fair, it was a fantastic day. I did get a lot out of it, but then it came down to, do I take on this mentor? Do I commit to all this money? Do I do it? And I thought, do you know what? I've got absolutely nothing to lose. This is my last chance. That was my turning point. And something my mum always said, you know, if you commit to something pretty big, then it will focus your mind. And when you do something that's of such significance and you've got a lot to answer to, then you'll treat it a lot more seriously and put your heart and soul in it. So that was me. Come January the 1st, I was all guns blazing. So within the first quarter, I smashed through £1 million in sales. But this time, these projects were priced with the right profit margins, estimated properly, and figures that I knew would unlock all the problems that I'd had before. I then went on to start a second solar panel business, completely independent business, its own name, its own identity. Again, producing profit, complementing the construction business. It's completely hands-off. I oversee both businesses, but the solar business, with all the skills and the systems that I've learned and put in place, and that business pretty much runs on autopilot. I just get involved with the numbers, the marketing and the support. The construction business, so the first quarter was the million. I finished the year with £2.3 million worth of installations. We made more sales, but I counted the year with what was installed. So pretty amazing transformation. So something very significant as well has just happened recently. I was unfortunate enough to have a health and safety incident over 7 years ago. And health and safety decided to come and they decided to charge me 5 years later. That episode and court case, there's no two ways about it. I had to deal with it through the courts, and it's cost me £63,000. Now, had I not attended that course, continued with my business, and believed in myself, with my new prices and all my new profit margins, I would never have been able to sustain a £63,000 hit. I managed to ring fence myself with a financial wall of protection and managed to pay all my legal fees. I had no support, no insurance, and all my legal teams have all been paid in full. And it's pretty much the end of that episode, but I dread to think my beautiful home that I've put blood, sweat and tears into, I would have definitely lost my family home had I not been able to make the sales, make the profit and have the business that I've got today if it wasn't for me personally taking on a mentor and asking for a little bit of help. So it's possible. We can all do it. If I've done it, you can do it too. So that is pretty much why I set up Next Level for Trades. So for business owners that want to get off the tools and take their business to the next level to make profit, make a powerful business profitable.